All right, welcome back, True Seeker. Want to talk about Pope Francis in light of September 11th, 2001. Rambo's been doing a lot of great work lately on Pisces and Poseidon and the Tridents that were on the World Trade Center in light of the mission called Operation Neptune Spear to kill Osama bin Laden, where, of course, Neptune is Poseidon in Greek mythology, and Poseidon spears a trident, like how the World Trade Centers were decorated with tridents. The New York Post published this story, Trident True Symbolism, September 4th, 2007. And just as a reminder, the architecture of the World Trade Centers had the trident as part of the design, the three-pronged spear. And again, that's what it looked like when it was finished, if you were down at the base of the building. And Osama bin Laden, blamed for the attack, was killed in, again, Operation Neptune Spear. Neptune is Poseidon. Poseidon carries the spear that's the trident. And just to go over Operation Neptune Spear, remember from the day that Obama took office, Osama, right? Understanding that, the society of Jesus controls the world, which is the Catholic Church. And just like how Jesus spoke in parables, these people are speaking in parables every day through the propaganda that they bombard us with to steer our lives. Just like how the Bible steered a lot of people's life from a young age. But from Obama taking office to Osama being assassinated was exactly a span of 119 weeks. And Poseidon has that gematria of 119, like how the majority of the world writes the date September 11th, 11/9. If you use numerology, Poseidon is 38, and Osama was killed on a date with 38 numerology. Again, the World Trade Center, the trident symbolism. Also, just another Greek god out there, Atlas, right in front of the building. Again, showing you that this old mythology is clearly relevant. Notice that article about Trident True was published on September 4th. Remember, the World Trade Center is open on the 94th day of 73, April 4th, 73. Neptune has that gematria 94. That's what Poseidon is. World Trade Center is 94. The word terror is 94 forward, 68 in reverse. 1968, when World Trade Center construction began, when 911 was made the national emergency dialing code, when George W. Bush got a Yale and Skull and Bones, and so on. And the construction firm that built the World Trade Center's Magnuson Klemenkic Associates, based out of Seattle, which also equals 94 and 68, the city by the sea. Poseidon, the sea. And the recent Hollywood movie Aquaman pays tribute to 68 and the Trident, and it begins with a false flag operation. Interesting to think about. And there's some other things to say, but the one point I really want to make is Osama's body was reportedly dumped at sea after his assassination on May 2nd, 2011. Again, 119 weeks from Obama taking office, and it was dumped on the boat, the Carl Vinson. And Carl Vinson died in history at age 97. And why does 97 matter? Again, gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. Forwards, Poseidon is 97. In reverse, it's 119. And with regards to 97, the September 11th event happened 97 days before Pope Francis's December 17th birthday. But from the day of the Osama assassination in Operation Neptune Spear to Pope Francis becoming the Pope was also 97 weeks later. 97 weeks later, September 11th, 97 days before the Pope's birthday. Again, it's the Jesuits behind all of these rituals. Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope. Notice, with regards to 97, in Francis Bacon gematria, where capital letters count, Catholic is 97, so is Pisces. Pisces is when Pope Francis became Pope. Pisces is symbolized by the fish. Jesus said he'd be with us through the end of the age. We're in the age of Pisces. Jesus was a fisherman. The Pope wears the mitre hat, which is a fish. And with regards to Jesus and the age of Pisces and the Catholic Church and operating by this ancient knowledge of astrology as ancient Rome did. Notice, Catholic 97, Pisces 97, Zeus 97. And think about the name Jesus. you know, Zeus, the old Roman god of gods, Jesus. But all 97. And making matters even more interesting, the last day of Pisces is March 20th, 2001. Again, Pisces, Neptune, Poseidon. Back to September 11th, right? March 20th to September 11th, the end of Pisces is 175 days. Remember, the second flight to reportedly hit the World Trade Centers was Flight 175. And the Holy Trinity has been described as the Trident. It wouldn't be the Trident without all three prongs, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Three become one as the Trident does. 3 points down into one shaft. But notice, Holy Trinity has that gematria of 175, right? 175 days. 3 was a big number with 9/11 because there were 3 planes that hit targets. There were 3 states involved: Pennsylvania, New York, and where the District of Columbia is, essentially, Virginia, Maryland. And again, 3 towers in New York City, buildings 1, 2, and 7. Trinity, 3. And again, from construction beginning in 68 to them opening was 33 years later, 3-3. But notice how Holy Trinity and Pope Francis overlap in gematria. And again, if you're new here, gematria is very simple. It's the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. And running the alphabetic order in reverse, Z is 1, back to A is 26. And then those 2 orders with numerology. Notice Holy Trinity in the base ciphers is 175, 122, 59. Pope Francis is 59, 122, 175. And with regards to Osama bin Laden being killed May 2nd, 5-2, that's the 122nd day of the year. Operation Neptune Spear. He dies 119 weeks from Obama taking office. 97 days, or 97 weeks before Pope Francis becomes the first pope. And remember, Pope Francis is the 266th pope, the first Jesuit. The Jesuit motto is Sus Hominum Salvator equals 266. That's why Pope Francis was in D.C. next to Obama on the 266th day of 2015. Let's not forget Obama won the 56th presidential election the first time. Society of Jesus is 56, so was Pope. And when you run it the other way, Pope is 52, like how bin Laden was killed on May 2nd, 5-2, again like 52. But from the end of Pisces to 9/11, 175 days, Flight 175 fits in with the whole Trident theme, fits in perfectly with Pope Francis. And Pope Francis, it was 97 days before his 65th birthday. Now, that's important that it was his 65th birthday it was synced with, because when you write out Knights Templar, it's 65, like Christianity. And again, the Knights Templar are the old military order of the Catholic Church, whose Templar cross is in the middle of the Jesuit logo. And when we invaded Afghanistan, that was the day leaving 85 days left in the year. And when you write out Templar, it's 85. When you write out Crucify, it's 85. When you write out Christ, it's 85. And the Jesuit motto is Sus Hominum Salvator equals 85. Pope Francis happens to be 85 years old right now. But 97 days before his 65th birthday, that show Nightfall about the Knights Templar, they mention, it's like the 7th or 8th episode, they mention that there's 65 Templar orders in all of Europe. But with regards to the 97 connection being so big with Pope Francis, again, 9/11, 97 days before his birthday, Osama's assassination 97 weeks before he became Pope, in the time of Pisces, and not to mention on 313, right? 313 is the 65th prime, like the original 9/11 ritual being synced up with his 65th birthday. And don't forget Pope John Paul II, who was Pope at the time, 9/11 was perfectly synced with his birthday. But again, here's the 97 days before 9/11. The number 119 and the number 97 also further connect to the Pope. The name Francis and the name Vatican and Poseidon, they're all 119 in the same cipher, just running the alphabetic order in reverse. You might recall when the old Knights Templar hangout burned Notre Dame in Paris, France, it was 119 days from Pope Francis's birthday. But with regards to the 97 in Poseidon, Roman Catholicism's 97, that's the 25th prime number. Pope, Vatican, Earth, and Devil are all 25. And May 2nd, the date of the assassination, can be written 2-5 or 5-2. Pope is 52 and 25. And it was also, if you look, the incident was 97 days before his birthday. It was also 3 months and 6 days, like IHS is 36. Pope Francis born in 36. That's what the abbreviation for Isus Hominum Salvator in the Jesuit logo, IHS. The Jesuits created in the 16th century. It was 13 weeks and 6 days before the Pope's birthday, kind of like 136, the 16th triangular number. And remember, the Jesuits created in the 16th century. P is the 16th letter. P, the 16th letter. We're talking about Pisces, Poseidon, Pope, So, and in light of it all being synced up with his 65th birthday, 9/11, Mitre 65, the hat that they wear, that's the fish, and yeah, so there's some additional information, but I don't want to overwhelm. But again, Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope. All of this happens at the start of the 21st century. Jesuits 21, right? And as we know, they got events lined up and planned out years in advance. Pope Francis was climbing the ladder, and he was probably chosen, many years before 9/11 even happened. He was made the Cardinal of Argentina on the 59th day of the year, the same day Benedict stepped down later in history on the 59th day of the year to make way for Pope Francis, whose name is 59 in the most pure cipher. And remember, we said the 59th presidential election would clearly be synced with him, with Biden becoming number 46, exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, when Catholic's 46, and the only Catholic president before Biden was JFK, killed at age 46. And forwards, Catholics 35, again, JFK, number 35, killed at age 46. Biden elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, inaugurated on the Pope's 35th day of his age. But, yeah, it's something else, the way they got history lined up and how they just... I mean, you see how easily they do it, though, at this point. I mean, they got people under their thumb. Nobody questions anything. They just go along with the stories. They just trust the authority. And that's why, way before I knew gematria and all this stuff and starting to understand astrology a little bit, back when I was 12 years old, I just saw this theme with authority and how it all seemed like it was a big load of shit, from school to church to, what was on TV, starting to figure out politicians are phony baloney. But, yeah, authority. And for a lot of us, it did start, the first authority we really had in our lives was, outside of our parents, was the religion, Religion comes on a lot of us at a young age, and it's do this or else, and anyway. All roads lead to Rome. Church running all shows at the end of the day, so... I think let's just check the latest headlines. It is March 22nd, see if anything's going on. Roe vs. Wade, the Biden cyber attack warning, and more Ukraine, as well as Japan getting in on the World War headlines. Withdrawal from World War II peace treaty talks. Japan, March 22nd, Skull and Bones. That just reminds me that they called 9/11 the new Pearl Harbor, which was blamed on Japan. That was on December 7th, Pearl Harbor, 127. Buildings 1, 2, and 7 fell in New York. And again, they called it the new Pearl Harbor. Oh, by the way, the 97-year-old man who the ship was named after that they dumped Osama bin Laden's body on, the Carl Vinson. Look at Carl Vinson in gematria. Again, he died at 97. But he was the 38th Dean of the United States House of Representatives, too, just going with that Poseidon theme. But Carl Vinson, initials CV. C is the third letter, V is the 22nd. 322. C3V22. CV322. Skull and Bones 322. George W. Bush, Skull and Bones member in office when 9/11 happened. But notice how Ground Zero and Carl Vinson have all the same numbers in the base ciphers. 46, 62, 127, 143. And, there's more to say about all those numbers. But buildings 1, 2, and 7. Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor happened right after Pentagon construction began on September 11th, 1941. Then Pearl Harbor happened December 7th, 41. But Pentagon Maskell was the simulation of a plane flying into the Pentagon, and that was October 24th, 2020, exactly 322 days before 9/11, or 46 weeks. And again, just with regards to Flight 77 on 9/11, don't forget the Pentagon's 77 feet tall. Pentagon on the 77th meridian west. They said the plane took off 77 minutes before it crashed. Again, Flight 77, when you write out September 11th as words, it's 77. When you write out World Trade Center, it's 77. When you write out National Security Act, it's 77. That's the, all the intelligence services. And since then, there's been a lot more security, even a brand new Department of Homeland Security, which came after 9/11. And one of the greatest warnings in history about the military industrial complex, that phrase, military industrial complex, with the most simple cipher is also 322. And remember, 322 Skull and Bones goes back to the Knights Templar, who were a military order. And the reason Skull and Bones is modeled after the Knights Templar is because they get their symbolism from how the dead were buried in an ossuary, and that's how Templars buried their dead. They buried them in an ossuary. And if you don't know what that is, they'd dig a shallow grave, they'd bury the body, they'd let it decompose. When all that was left was the bones, they'd take the bones and put it in a box, a decorated box, which is an ossuary. But, yeah, Pentagon Maskell. And then the other thing about Pentagon Maskell is it was on the day, October 24th is the day, leaving 68 days left in the air. Remember, 1968, the plan that went into motion for 9/11. World Trade Center construction, 9/11, George W. Bush, and a whole bunch of other things, including Boeing debuting their jumbo jetliner. You guys want to see how dumb it is? You want to see how dumb this world is that we're living in? I know people can't wrap their mind around this. Like, my sister would say that, my sister would accuse me of this being mental illness. She thinks it's all a coincidence as we document it day after day. But on the day of the 132 passengers in the supposed plane crash, it was a Boeing plane, right? Boeing's from Seattle, like the firm that built the World Trade Centers, like the man who designed the towers, Japanese-American. From Seattle, designed the World Trade Centers, the new Pearl Harbor, Japan, America, New World Order. Anyway, where's the game at yesterday? The Thunder. The Thunder are from Seattle, Washington, right? They're in Oklahoma City now, but they went from Seattle to Oklahoma City. And they went from the Seattle Supersonics to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but this is the Seattle franchise, where Boeing's from. And notice the score of the game yesterday in the Oklahoma City Thunder game, 132-123, against about the most Catholic city in the nation, Boston. And remember, Catholic churches 132, Roman Catholics 132, Astrologicals 132, 132 rooms in the White House that's on the land that used to be known as Rome on the Potomac, now Washington, D.C. But if you missed all my work yesterday on where 132 fit in with the ritual with the plane and everything else they did yesterday, the vaccine announcement, go back and watch the stream I did late last night. But yeah, day after day, it's the same stuff. If you read the airplane crash, they said 132 people on the plane, 123 were passengers, 9 were crew. And then in the game that connects back to Seattle, where Boeing's from, the score is 132-123. And Boston was part of 9/11 as well, wasn't it? Some of the planes were hijacked from Boston's, what is it, JFK Airport? Or hold on, what's the name of their airport? 9/11 Boston plane hijacking. Let me see if that's right. Flight 11 hijacked from Boston to Los Angeles. That old basketball rivalry. You ever look at, it's funny that, the Lakers and the Celtics have both won 17 championships. 34 out of the 75 pro basketball seasons completed. 34 out of 75, so 41 from the rest of the league. Nearly half by those two teams. Anyway, and for people who can't wrap their mind around the sports being synced up with all the crap news, and that's what it is, it's crap news. If you missed my video on Lorenzen Wright's supposed murderer being, sent to found guilty of first-degree murder for Lorenzen Wright when LeBron and Lorenzen Wright were last teammates on the Cavs. Lorenzen Wright's last team. But if you mess with work on that last night, and then LeBron scoring 38 in this game, and Lorenzen Wright died 201 days after LeBron's birthday at the time. Again, all of this stuff is perfectly synced up. It's the same Jesuit Catholic cabal that controls all of this. So, and you gotta love that the Lakers stay on 41 losses and the Cavs stay on 41 wins against King James when King's 41, right? Grizzlies is 131. Lorenzen Wright killed in Memphis. Memphis 38 land. Murder, death, killing, RIP. Memphis, they're all 38. LeBron scores 38 on the day of the news. But, yeah, and instead of going off into so many tangents, just understand, you learn this knowledge, you'll see right through all of it, the news and the sports, and what a joke it is day after day. So we'll leave it there for now, and thank you for everyone who tuned in and hit the like. Thank you to everyone who shares the video, and looking forward to Oklahoma City, April 19th. All right, until next time, Truth Seeker.